Good evening, YouTube. This is the first in what might be a small series called Rancho's Raw Reviews. Called such because A, it's a review, B, I have kind of given myself the moniker Rancho, and it's raw because there's no jump cuts, no nothing, no fancy text, no logos, no cuts of the film, just me talking shit. So the first one, as you can see by the title, is Avengers Infinity War. You know by the title as well, it's spoilers. Okay, there's going to be spoilers here. The reason why there's spoilers is because at this point in time, you've probably seen the film. If you haven't seen the film, you're either going to go see the film or you don't have any intention of going to see the film. There's no swaying at this point in time. Like, what I'm going to say isn't going to affect whether you choose to see that film or not. It might affect the way you view the film. I might say some things that you agree with, you disagree with, or some other things about the film that make you think, all right, okay, no problem. Brilliant. So I'm gonna take a stupid hat off. I love thinking actually no, that's enough. It's me. So that's my exposition over. The next obvious thing I'm gonna point out is the film is a sequel. We know that, okay? There's been, I feel like, about 20 odd films in the last 10 years in this universe. Most of them have been brilliant, with one or two mediocre exceptions. But at this point, we are watching a sequel, not just any kind of sequel, a sequel that really does require you to have been following thus far. Now, the brilliant thing is the vast majority of people who watch it, and especially those who've pre-booked it, and have seen it in the first week, have seen virtually every film there is within the universe. I myself have just missed the last Thor movie, and that is something I need to make a point of, is that you do actually need to have seen all of them to get the full picture, because I kind of went, right, something's missing here, I didn't follow what happened, who's dead, don't know what happened. Okay, so there's some, if you miss anything, there are going to be some blips. All right, that's not necessarily the film's problem. You know, it kind of gives you that responsibility to have seen that stuff yourself. At this point in time, Marvel Studios don't care about you seeing this film as the first of many. You know, they expect you to have seen everything before that. You know, it's like watching Game of Thrones, season 7. If you're just tuning into it, you might kind of enjoy the big dragons, the big battles, the explosions, the big monsters, big prizes. I love it. But you're gonna fucking, this doesn't make any sense, really, does it? So on with that, right? You do get a fair bit of exposition in the film to explain to you what's going to happen next and why somebody's going to be kicking somebody in the head. For the most part, it's fine. Other times, it's a bit stagnant, and that's where the film fell apart for me. Was that I just felt that the dryness of some of those exposition scenes, and sometimes, okay, there was punched with a bit of humor, but humor is kind of so one tone with Marvel films that it's gonna land sometimes, but it depends A on the delivery and B the context, and some of the exposition just nah. I feel like the film could do more with focusing on the heart and soul elements of not just the Infinity Gems, but if some of the characters just didn't get enough depth. So I like the way Star-Lord and Gamora. That's a big thing. You've got the weird surrogate father thing with Iron Man and Spider-Man, and then you had this bond between Rocket Raccoon and Thor starting to perk up, which I thought was really nice. I thought Peter Dinklage, that is the dwarf character, was a bit tongue in cheek, a bit of like casting, but enjoyed it nonetheless. Um, yeah, I think probably my favorite scene actually was definitely the Rocket Raccoon Thor meshing bit. You know, them bonding, and the drive that Thor had to get this done. I think given your characters clear cut reasons for what they're doing, other than Batman it has bad MacGuffin to do bad things, stop Batman with his MacGuffin. Um, I think 100%. That's one big thing that needs to change. You know, we'll see in the next film as the heroes go, okay, you wiped out our friends. We need to stop you and bring our friends back. Um, yeah, I think it's a fine film. Some of the most of the action was fine. Uh, I'm giving it a 7. It didn't. It there's two of my favorites Marvel wise. Avengers is a masterpiece for what they were able to do. Uh, Civil War was good, but Winter Soldier was probably my favorite. Just because of the speed of the film, I like the slickness of the action, I like the grittiness of the action, even though it is with superpowers. Um, this one did have to rely on the CGI. At times, you're looking at some of the heroes and going, "Could you not be doing something more? I mean, is this really the extent of your superhuman powers?" I mean, Doctor Strange always seems remarkably underpowered in these things. There is a good scene with what he can do with the portals and stuff. That was good fun. Um, I like the bit with Bruce Banner trying to figure out the Hulk Buster armor in the middle of the fight. That was very good fun. Um, the ending, kind of had already happened by the time the result. How do I mean? But it went on for it's another thing. The length of that film, could you cut 10, 20 minutes out of it? Probably, yeah. The tendency always is to go bigger than smaller in these things, and money is no expense, so they're not worried about that. And they know you're going to sit through the whole thing. So I, have to respect that. In my opinion, just like everybody else's, doesn't matter, dick. So yeah, um, hit me up if you agree, disagree, want me to go fuck myself, you want your 8 minutes back. See you.